I love people. I'm fascinated by people. I think you can't really do street photography. I don't really know too many people that do street photography that don't love people and don't love observing them and don't love seeing the different trials and tribulations that we all go through and the way that we all interact with each other. I find it fascinating, and cities are obviously the perfect stage for that, to see it. I love the diversity, and I love the humour as well that you get with so many people living so close together, and you know the actual unscripted, hilarious stories that you can witness on the streets. When I first started taking my camera out with me, I wasn't even particularly aware of the genre of street photography, and to a certain extent it was a little bit unnatural for me to walk up to complete strangers and take their photograph. But very quickly I got, well, almost immediately I got hooked on it. The best possible scenario is when my mind is completely blank and when I'm just open to anything that happens in front of me. It's all about obviously people not noticing me. The way that I feel more invisible is if I move around. It's really just interesting characters, faces that stand out, any situations that are a little bit obviously unusual that I look for as I'm just walking up and down and scanning the road. So really just looking to see what's coming towards me and what's behind me. Sometimes when there is an interesting character, I try to get ahead a little bit so that I can then turn around and get the shot that I need. You know, sometimes it's somebody's clothes, sometimes it's somebody's emotions that show on their face, or a particularly wrinkly face. It's very difficult to pinpoint it because it could just be the way somebody holds a mobile phone, or a book that somebody's reading, or a map that somebody's getting out in the middle of the street, and how that sometimes then works with their surroundings as well. In the moment you can't really rearrange, and that's the beauty with street photography, you can't really rearrange, you know, your surroundings or place people in certain positions so that they, you know, work better with different colors. You know, sometimes you just have to position yourself and it comes together and it works really well. But a lot of the time it's what you're given. You know, the constant obsession with mobile phones, smartphones, tablets, you know, anything that stimulates you electronically, you know, on the go, I guess it's just the modern day curse of street photography. So something that has destroyed the idle moments when people have, you know, downtime in the streets that normally, you know, for the classic street photography made for such beautiful moments and such beautiful scenes, really. It's something that's now destroyed because nobody is ever bored these days anymore. The moment you have a few moments to yourself, or you have a cigarette, or you're waiting for someone, that's it, out comes the phone. And I know that a lot of people are frustrated with it, and a lot of people have said, that's it, I'm giving up street photography altogether because I'm fed up having faces illuminated by the blue screen. But I guess it just makes it, you know, a little bit harder, and it makes it more of a challenge really to seek out those people that are still fascinating, that are still maybe, you know, in the moment. Sometimes I shoot it from the hip, I don't look, sometimes with a screen and sometimes through the viewfinder. Yeah, I tend to keep it quite fluid. I don't really have a set process. It's whatever I feel like on the day. For me, it's quite important to get close to the people that I photograph. The smaller cameras obviously also are a lot more subtle, so you can steal pictures and get pictures without people necessarily noticing. iPhone photography is not really something that I enjoy particularly, generally, but it's fairly recently that I've started playing around with a few of the hipstermatic lenses, and there's one in particular, the Tinto 1884. That's just really good fun. It's It's totally and utterly unpredictable. Parts of it are you know, in focus, and the other part isn't. It's got quite a heavy border around it as well, which I'm not that keen on. But it's just really fun as a toy, really. I keep the post-processing to a minimum. I convert into black and white images a lot, and I change the contrast, play around a little bit. I am a believer in cropping and allowing the cropped image to tell the story as I see it and as I tell it, I suppose. To me, black and white just helps focus the eye and helps tell the story in a more straightforward way. You don't have the distractions that you have with colours and patterns and different ways, and you really have to use a lot more discipline to tell the story or to reproduce the story as it happened in front of you. I love the rain, I love reflections, I love puddles, and it's a good job because I live in London, so you know, if you didn't love the rain, then you'd be a bit lost. I love the harshness of the light that you sometimes get. Obviously, we're not spoiled for sun, and that's what makes it even more interesting. It's almost like a limited edition when the sun does come out. You know, you know that you've only got a few hours to play with, or sometimes even just a few minutes. The good thing with street is that as long as you have your camera with you, you have the stages there for you. Your props are the people that walk past. I love just going with wherever the day takes me. So I don't actually have a set route, or I wouldn't sit down the day before, even on the same day, and really map it all out. I listen to a lot of music whilst I'm walking for miles and miles and miles, and just generally go with the light, go with anything that grabs me in particular. And sometimes when I start shooting, naturally I gravitate towards a certain area, a certain demographic, and I tend to just go with that. I enjoy the experience of just walking and of just observing and just being part of the hustle and bustle, as much as I enjoy obviously taking photos in the process. One of the most exciting things is just looking at what the day has brought in terms of images. I'm quite good at editing, and I'm quite a harsh critic, I suppose, so a lot of it will just go straight in the bin. Generally, you know whether it's a good image or not. I think you have a fairly good idea straight away when you look at it. So I didn't see the no Nazi sticker early on. I just thought his hands were quite interesting. And that's the beauty sometimes when you look at it later on. You either have people in shot that you didn't really pay any attention to at the time, or there's other little details like that. It's quite nice little surprise and delight. It's not really about coming home with a whole chip full of images. It's you know, just having that one or two, and it's the excitement that you get when you have caught something that, you know, really resonates with you, or that, you know, you feel particularly proud. You know, something that was a bit more challenging, or something that you've really caught well. It's an amazing buzz, really. So yeah, even if it's just the one, sometimes that's worth the 6 or 7 hours that it takes really to capture that. I hoard them, I save them, I cherish them, I might bring them out, and generally I just enjoy them.